So, hello, beautiful tribe, and welcome to Magic Month of November. I can't believe we made it to November. And yeah, welcome to this forecast show. If you don't know Magic Month, it is an energy forecast. So, it gives you an overview of the astrology, the um, shifts in nature, channeled guidance about the month ahead, so you can use all of the information to align, to have your best month, to know the best times to manifest and the best times to heal, and to just use the information to have a really, really amazing month. And November's cool. I like November 23. It's got a really, really nice vibe. It's exciting. It feels like, it feels like a month that can really launch you forward, and there's a lot of forward motion and light and energy in November, and so I'm really excited about the forecast. I'd be super grateful to any of you listening live if you can let me know that I know Ayako's already said she's here. Actually, I've just seen hi. But co-create this webinar with me. So use the chat at any point to share where you are, share your own insights, your own guidance, and co-create Magic Month with me tonight. So let's begin with a meditation just to drop in. And so when you're ready, closing your eyes, and as you close your eyes, connect to your inner quiet. Really inviting yourself to listen to the silence and the stillness within. And as you do, notice how listening to your inner quiet is changing your breath. And your body. And see if you can follow that inner quiet. Deeper inside of yourself. into your center. When you get to your center, notice that your inner quiet. That your center becomes a silent frequency of peace. Notice how that changes. Your breath. And your body. Giving yourself this now. A chance to drop in. And as you hold the peace, inside yourself, breathe all the way into it. And from this place of being dropped in, of breathing into your inner peace, open up. Open up to the energies of November 2023. And feel them. Notice how the words November 2023 affect you. And when you're ready, open your eyes and let's just share and co-create. sharing in the chat box about what you got for November 23. What energetic impression did it give you? For me, it was like this flower opening inside of myself. And that makes a lot of sense because in November there are, this month astrologically is really about taking a leap of faith. It's about compassion. It's about change. When I was tuning into it, the thing that I kept seeing was like, do you remember like the Superman thing of like him taking his shirt off and the big heart S? It's like that. That's what I got when I tuned into it. And so that's November. Overview. There's loads and loads of Mars energy in November, and so Mars is very good at like forward motion and fire and change and passion. At the moment, we're not quite feeling that because we're still in the very different energies of the eclipse completing and Samhain, and so we're definitely kind of in this. We're entering November in this big integration process, and integration can be really, really hard. This integration process is big because the eclipse that just happened is the end of the Taurus eclipse cycle that has been going on since November 2021. And so the healing journey that you have been on, especially around embodiment, around abundance, around all of the Taurus themes, which is very much, Taurus is about, are you walking it? Are you living it? Is it happening in your body? And that's just completed. So what was in the way of you embodying more of your higher self, more of your truth, has just completed. And that was a big healing journey. It's ended with a big, big, big eclipse. Bang. And because it was about embodiment, there is this there's this embodiment feeling anyway with integration, but it's like double embodiment because it was about embodiment. And embodiment and integration is intense. It's physically intense. You often feel very, very tired. You often feel very achy. At the same time, this is happening at Samhain, which is the festival of death and rebirth. And originally in the pagan calendar, it's the time to rebirth. It's when in the pagan calendar, it's the new year. And so there's a lot of kind of big movement, birthy, deathy, integratory energies around at the moment. And really, all you can do is just let it happen. Be in the stillness and be in the space. And so, in a way, we're entering November from that kind of still place. And at the end of this magic month, I'm going to do channeling, and the guides are going to talk a bit about discernment and how important that is. And what I wanted to share about Samhain, which is officially tomorrow, Halloween, is that I've got a new thing at the moment, which I was thinking about my healing journey and some things that I'm wanting to complete and let go of, which Samhain and the eclipse are really, really powerful for. And I was like, I want to unsubscribe from these things because subscribing is a really good kind of way of viewing things that are ready to complete, because what a subscription is giving your energy to something. repeatedly. And so those things that you've been giving your energy to repeatedly, you can unsubscribe from this Samhain. And I feel like that's a really powerful way to enter into November, because November, it's just juicy. Like, you want as much space as possible going into November, because November is like, okay, if you've made space for the new, now the new is gonna start happening, and that's what feels exciting and special about November. And so on November 3rd, the first astrological event happens, and those of you that are regulars to Magic Month will know that I feel like the first thing that happens in the month kind of sets the scene for what the month is all about. And the first thing that happens is the sun is opposite Jupiter. And the sun represents our truth, and Jupiter is like one of the yummy planets. Jupiter is abundance and expansion and kind of path power. And so this is a wonderful, wonderful astrological scene setting for November. It's like, welcome to November, where there is the potential for abundance, expansion, more path, your truth and your path fully aligning and expanding. It's a really wonderful time to do any healing work on money, any manifestations for abundance, for path, any gratitude practices, and really kind of connecting to what it is that you actually want. What has all of this healing journey since 21 been for? What do you want? I actually want to share that one of the things that I really loved at a talk I was at recently. It was like a women's networking thing, and everybody went around giving guidance to each other. And one of the pieces of guidance that came through for one of the women was, you know, sometimes you don't have a problem receiving money, you have a problem holding money. And one of the kind of ways to train yourself to be better at holding money is to literally do a ceremony where you are holding money and learn to physically hold money and be comfortable holding money and be comfortable with the power and the power for change and everything that you associate with money and not wanting to hold it, and just train yourself to energetically, emotionally, and in this ceremony's case, physically hold it with love. And what was coming through is that, like, this is a really wonderful way to expand your abundance, very, very simply. So that would be a brilliant thing to do on the 3rd of November. And then straight after, on the 4th of November, so also this very beginning of November, we have Saturn going direct. And Saturn's the planet of law and order and karma. I always think of Saturn as like the head teacher, making sure everything's running smoothly and correctly. And so Saturn going direct, you know, and this happening right next to the sun being opposite Jupiter and right after the eclipse. When Saturn goes direct after retrograde, if you've learnt your karmic lessons in the retrograde, that's when you get the kind of reward. That's when you get the blessing of coming into greater alignment. And so Saturn going direct, it's like another really powerful day to be manifesting, to be opening up, to receive with gratitude, but also do it in Saturn's language. So, you know, Saturn likes order, so it's like this is a really powerful time, the beginning of November, to be like, okay, what is the plan? The thing I want to be rewarded with, even if it's just happiness or a new adventure. It's like, what is the plan? Where am I going? How am I moving myself towards it? And Saturn going direct will support you and your plan and move you towards it. And then on November 6th, we have Venus trine Pluto. And Venus and Pluto in 23 have been really, really big players. And so, you know, if you open your hearts and think about how the journey you've had with relationships and matters of the heart and your life force energy this year, a lot of that has been caused by the dance that Venus and Pluto have been having this year. And so what a trine is in astrology is when the energies come into harmony. So there's this lovely thing of like this dance. Pluto's about transformation and shadow and healing the shadow and the underworld, and Venus is like the opposite. She's like sexual energy and beauty and love. And so this dance that those two have been having on your system and in your lives, there's this sense that they come into harmony. So can you see how like the beginning of November is finally like, oh, everything's falling into place and everything's coming together and coming good after the journey of the eclipse and the retrogrades and everything that's been happening in the summer. And what you have when I was tuning in about this trine, I feel like it's a really powerful day for healing and coming into wholeness. When I was tuning in about it, what I was feeling is the Pluto-Venus journey has been showing us where we blame when we should be beauty. So my guide said earlier this year that blame is a way that we get our energy back into our body. If we lose our power, one of the ways we get energy back, one of the ways we get power back is to blame. And like, you can think of this on personal levels and on the massive collective level that we witness this all the time, this like blaming your power back. But that will always create another karmic cycle. If you blame your power back into yourself, it will just create another karmic cycle. And so the other way to get your energy back into your body is with beauty. The other way to claim your power back is with beauty. So it's like all of those painful relationship scenarios or collective situations where there's a lot of blame that you're witnessing or feeling. This is a really, really powerful day to be like, how can I reframe this? Or where is the beauty in this situation? What can I find or do or say that is beautiful in order to get my power back, in order to create wholeness in this situation? And you know, even in the kind of first 3 astrological happenings of November, there is this sense of ascension. You know, we go from this quite Samhain and the eclipse, they're quite, yeah, I guess Samhain after a big eclipse always feels quite heavy. You know, quite you're integrating, it feels quite low in 3D and primal. And then we go into abundance, which is very like root chakra-y. And then we come up to Saturn and karma, which is more like the middle of the body and the solar plexus. And then it's like up into the heart. So can you see how like the energy in the sky or the map of the sky is like this invitation for energy rising. And then what we have on the 8th of November is Venus enters Libra. And Venus, so it's like the last healing of Venus and Pluto and blame and beauty on the 6th of November. And hopefully everybody listening to this goes, I'm going to choose beauty, and I'm going to find the beauty instead of the blame in all of these situations where there's power struggle in my life. And if you don't have any, please do it for the collective, the collective power struggles. And then what you have is Venus entering her ruling sign, which is Libra. And so Venus in Libra is like the perfect match. And in Libra, the energy of Venus, which is in us, the energy of our hearts, the energy of our sensuality, the energy of everything about our life force, from our innocence to our beauty, to our sexual sensuality. And in Libra, it's like all of that part of us just softens, just drops, and we live in beauty. And that's what, you know, the great lesson of the sky is that, like, Libra is all about balance. And so all of these big dreams and karmic rewards, they can come to us when we are balanced. They can come to us when we are balanced. And then what happens is quite a beautiful journey in November. Then what happens straight after that I feel up until the 10th of November is this, like, yeah, it's like a rising up into higher self-love or higher states of love, and it's very, very internal. The beginning of November, it's like really wrapping up this journey, this healing cycle that's completed, with karmic rewards, with clear manifestation, with coming into beauty and compassion and forgiveness. And then November just starts to activate. It's like, get yourself as high as you can on a heart level, because then from the 10th of November, it's like nearly everything is like activate, energy, boost, move forward. And obviously you want to move forward from this place of balance and heart. And so on the 10th, Mercury enters Sagittarius. And when Mercury enters Sagittarius, there's this... so Mercury is communication. And Sagittarius is a fire sign that, you know, it's all about confidence and direction and adventure and, in many ways, celebration. Sagittarius is one of the kind of great celebratory fire signs. And so, you know, Mercury is, like I said, about communication. And so this is about your truth moving you forward, your ability to express yourself moving forward. It is like when you walk your talk, you're going to have so much energy. Alignment is just going to feel so energizing and so good. When I tuned into this, I was just like, whoa. By the middle of November, if you're aligned, you're gonna feel so pumped. I think when you're not aligned, it's gonna be really, really obvious. And it's gonna be really like, oh, that's not good. On the 11th of November, the next day, so you've got this energy boost, and To me, if you are a really regular to Magic Month, you will know that the 11th of November is a really important date every year, because it's 11/11, which is 11/11 is like the awakening number, and it's one of the signs that people see when they're starting to wake up. It is one is all about kind of path and alignment, being aligned between source and the earth. And so 11/11 is like you're fully in alignment, you know, your higher self, your soul, your body, all aspects of you are fully aligned. And it's a day where energetically we are able to open up and attune to more of our higher self. We are able to become more of our higher self. And so it's wonderful that we have this like journey up into our hearts, and then this energy boost, and then 11/11. And then on the 13th, the sun is opposite Uranus. And so one of the things that's exciting about November is there's a lot of sun in the astrology. A lot of the planetary action is connected to the sun, as well as to Mars, and the sun is all about truth. So it feels like November is like a shining of your truth, an opening of your truth, and an invitation to live more authentically, more fully in your truth. And the sun, opposite Uranus. Uranus is like revolution and awakening and lateral thinking. And so this is like a really powerful activation of like new possibilities, new ideas, and new direction. It's like all of this change we're calling in, it can start to take form. It can start to, it's like suddenly you're like, I know what I need to do. I haven't just got the plan, I've got the like unique selling point for the plan, or I've got the key that's going to unlock all of this. It's an amazing day to be journaling, brainstorming, trying something new, doing something new, putting all of this new energy to good use. I didn't say, but I should have said that November 11th, you definitely should be in ceremony on the 11/11. Find a way to be in ceremony on the 11/11. And then from that ceremony, from that inner vision time, November 13th is going to kind of unlock the ideas and open the doors and create the new truths that fit with whatever you call in on the 11/11. And that happens at the same time as the new moon. So the Scorpio new moon is on November 13th and 14th, depending on where you are in the world. And so got this wonderful energy of like the truth renewing itself, and at the same time you've got this similar polarity we have at the start of the month, which is Scorpio is one of the most healing of all the moons. and one of the most intense. And so it's also a profound time if you haven't created the space to be creating space, to be doing healing work, to be clearing out. And my feeling is any healing or processes that happen around the new moon are about clearing out what is in the way of you being able to truly move forward, truly commit, truly make these big changes that are so available now. They are so here and now. When I was doing the research for Magic Month, I read a really lovely bit of astrology that was saying that Mars is huge this month, as you're about to find out, because everything becomes about Mars by the end of November. And in the like stories and legends of Mars, there are Mars has a chariot, and the two horses that Mars that carry Mars on the chariot, they are named after fear and panic. And so it's like Mars, the warrior, has harnessed fear and panic so that fear and panic don't ride Mars. So that Mars is in charge and doesn't let fear and panic stop, but if anything, like surfs the waves of fear and panic. And so this new moon might be dramatic and emotional because you've got this Uranus energy, you've got Mars energy all around it, but what it's doing is it's going to be showing you exactly where your fears need to be tamed, exactly where your panic needs to be tamed, so that you can ride over the edge, so that you can ride the wave of this. And then on November 18th, we have the Sun conjunct with Mars. And so Mars is the, like I said, is the warrior. Mars is the god of war. Like Mars is the one that takes action at the great extremes of what action is. And a conjunction blends energy in astrology. And so to me, this conjunction, it's like when you're when a part of your truth becomes warrior-like, there is nothing that will stop that truth from happening and manifesting. And I feel that actually truth is really important in November. It's like, if you are... Be careful what is your truth in November, because there's so much sun energy in November. It's like, choose your highest truth. Choose the compassion. Choose the balance. Choose your highest truth as often as you can. Because then you're going to be a warrior of love, or a warrior of compassion, or a warrior of your path. And that's the greatest form of warrior there is. You know, a guardian of love, guardian of peace, guardian of compassion. I also feel like around this time with the new moon, it's like the final layers of that eclipse journey that has been going on since 21. It's coming up. If you haven't cleared it yet, this is when it's going to come up. It's like the final tremor of an earthquake, or the echo. And then you're really going to know whether it's true for you. You're really going to know whether it's still true for you. If it's not, then let it go and call in what is now true for you. Because then what happens on November 23rd is the Sun is square with Saturn, and Saturn's in Pisces, I believe. Yeah. And so, you know, Saturn is law and order, and is in Pisces. And the Sun is, like I said, truth. And so this square is like, does this old paradigm fit you? does your truth no longer fit the mold of society, of the way it is out there, of the way other people want you to be? Because a square in astrology, it's like tension. It's like there's this like, this is what I mean about the Superman coming out of the office suit, you know, like there's that energy in November of just like, get this off me. You know, the things that don't fit, the things that are too tight. And then on November 24th, Mars enters Sagittarius. So straight after you've had this, like, oh, I don't know if this fits anymore in whatever area of your life doesn't fit anymore, then you've got this like Mars, full power, Sagittarius, double fire energy. And Mars in Sagittarius, like I said, double fire. So it's all about celebrating. You know, it's all about like supercharging yourself forward, but in a light way, in a joyful way. This is really where like your self-belief starts to kick in. And celebration is celebration of someone, celebration of self is the creation of belief. It's how we create belief energy in ourselves and in each other. And so even as I'm talking about it, can you feel their like energy rising in November? And then November 25th, Mars is square Saturn. And so you have, you know, another square, another tension of Mars really facing the law and the order and the karma of the Piscean age and the Piscean structures. And I feel like the end of November is just going to feel like surges of energy. And then a real clarity about what is no longer true for you, what is no longer of service to you, what you need to make space for. And then we end on the 27th with a Gemini full moon. And when I connected into that, all that I heard was choose. You know, Gemini, the twins, it's time to choose. You're going to be Superman or you're going to be Clark Kent. Like, it's kind of time to choose your trajectory. And depending on what you choose, it will be another very, very healing moon, or it will be a very, very celebratory moon. Depending on if by that point you've unsubscribed, which is the invitation at the start of the month. And so there really is this just like surge of energy throughout the whole of the month. And it is a surge forward. Like when you connect into this, it is like forward, up, next level, new paradigm. It's more than any other month so far in this year that my guides at the start of it described as a year that was a leap of faith. This one, you're going to feel that leap more than anything else. That's why when we were tuning in, you were feeling the like rising energy. And so what do we think? What do you think of November 23? Really powerful time to be in ceremony. It's a really powerful time to be in path action. Really powerful time to be discerning, which is why I want to also do that. Which is why I also want to connect to the guides about discerning. But I've pulled two cards. So the card that I've pulled is joy and reflection. Healing and transformation, and embrace the blessings of life. And there is that. See how even these cards are like, yay, this is happening. And then, oh, I'm feeling like I need to heal something else. I do feel like November's got quite a lot of that going on based on the astrology. So it feels really good. It feels really, really positive if you harness it. I think if you don't harness November 23, it's really going to rock you about, you know. And you know, often I find astrologically the middle of the month is the place where the medicine is. And the medicine in the middle of November is balance. It's finding your heart and your center through balance. And so this is about alignment, and alignment means not doing everything, it means doing the thing. It means discerning what you are meant to be doing and what you are not meant to be doing. And so that's why I'm going to do this message about discernment. In terms of what Starlight has coming up, the coolest thing we have coming up is we are doing a sacred soul journey to Egypt, 16 days of being in ceremony with the land and the sacred sites, and we're going to some amazing places that are really off the beaten track, like the desert where they found all of these whale skeletons. It was basically the bed of an ocean, the bed of a Lemurian ocean once upon a time. We're going to like the black and white desert. We have private access into the temple of Isis. So we have all of these amazing, really special things, as well as all of the really well-known things like the Nile and the pyramids. And you know, this journey is going to be really celebratory because it's about belief, and it's called New Beginnings. It's about calling in a new beginning. We're also going to be sending lots and lots of peace and stabilizing lots of peace as we go. And it's completely safe to go to Egypt, by the way. Government green. So yeah, it's completely fine to travel to Egypt. But we should be able to send some love and peace and compassion to the neighbours. And so that's my main event that I have coming up in January. I do have some smaller things, so I will have some local in-person things. I'm going to do an 11/11 ceremony. If you're in Brighton, sign up to the mailing list. But otherwise, I am following the guidance about discernment and alignment, and I'm not doing any more than what I'm already doing. So, yeah, that's all there is. But join our mailing list. The eclipse window course that Starlight just did is really amazing. It really, really has helped me understand myself and how to change with more grace, and I feel like it's done a lot of good for other people as well. And so hopefully a version of that will be ready for people who want it very soon. So it's worth joining the mailing list. But yeah, the only thing I have to tell you about is Egypt at the moment. And when you are ready, closing your eyes. And coming back to your inner silence. Coming back to your inner peace. Coming back to where you are now. Noticing that there is a significant drop in energy when you're connecting from the end of the month to the beginning of the month. And get excited about this incredible surge of energy that is coming to help you awaken and burst into more of your alignment and more of your path. And I ask for the highest level guidance that is in the highest good and greatest joy of all to flow through me now. We will say to you that discernment is the way for surges of energy not to be experienced as chaotic or overwhelming. We say that when new levels of energy or new energy flows into space, it becomes creational power. Whereas when there is not enough space inside of you, or in your manifest life, in your day-to-day life, in terms of what you are doing and how busy your mind and your heart is. These surges of energy cause instability, chaos, drama, all that is associated with uncreation rather than creation. And you are now over the hill in terms of what has been necessary in order to uncreate the old world. And what is more important for your attention is creation. And so we say to you that in order to have the highest possible version of November 23, it is advised that you prioritize your inner and your outer space. Keep your time free and open. Do the minimal that is needed for this time. Be in meditation. In the morning and prayer in the evening. Be mindful. Do what creates space and peace rather than energy. We will say to you that discernment is when you make a choice with the guardianship of your inner space in mind. For there are many reasons to make a choice. And just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. And we invite you just for this month to tune into all of your choices, all of the commitments and times you are saying yes. And ask yourself, before you commit, before you say yes, before you react, does this serve my inner space? And if it doesn't, it is not the most aligned choice that you can make. or at this time, it is not about doing loads, but about using all of this new energy with greater precision, with greater and clearer intention. Your greatest power for this moment in time is your ability to discern if something is right. It will give you a feeling of inner space, of inner expansion. And if something is wrong, it will give you a feeling of inner contraction. And we will say to you that the more you can hold the space, not just when you are meditating, but by choosing that which is spacious, that which you have discerned as being right for your spaciousness. This is the way you will have the most space inside of yourself, meaning these awakening and ascension surges of energy become more of your creational power rather than more uncreational power and turmoil. And we will leave this message with you now, letting it settle into you now. And so, noticing how you feel. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. And your hearts to November 23. I really hope Magic Month of November was helpful to you. And I'm sending you all so much love, and I really hope that you discern your way through November and have loads and loads of space so that you can be fully and truly creative in your power. So much love to you.